All right, I'm going to show you my workflow for spring 2022 for fairies. And as I've probably mentioned before, I like to create a new workflow customized for whatever fairy season, because I'm always looking at ways to improve it, and I kind of look at it and go, all right, what can I do a little bit different? So I'm going to show you in real time, okay? So I'm not going to say a lot because I want to show you in real time. This is an order that I've been working on many orders because my wife's out in front doing all the proofing and making the orders, and sales are brisk. Everybody's buying packages and stuff, so it's really cool. So let me show you. First of all, this is 8 and 14 inches, 350. So I think, yeah, my camera is an A7R2, and it's I'm pretty sure I sized the resolution down to half. So it goes from the camera shoots at what, 41, 42 megapixels. That's too big. This is plenty big. I can make a 20 by 30, 24 by 36 inch print easy with these files. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one full size. I'm not going to size it down because they're getting, you can see right here in the file, it says 11 by 14. These three are going smaller, so I'm going to size those down, and I have an action. See that? Boom, I just sized them down. The reason I sized them down is to save time. Okay, we do sell a lot of 5x7s and 8x10s. What's that? Oh, it's just my wife. And but we have a wall portrait. It's a little bit different. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to select it all and go Control T because it's crooked, and I'm going to make it a little bit straighter. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. So for me, it's all about saving time. So I'm using the whatever that tool is. You know that tool. That tool. This one here. Spot Healer. But boom. I'm just using it to fix up the edges there. Now I'm going to use the selection. Let me just go in here first. Just fix that up. And then I'm going to select the bottom part where are my flooring. I'm not too concerned about this. I'll fill it in anyway. So content aware, and it's full res, so that's good enough. Okay, so I have an action. I just hit it. Because this is a larger file than the smaller GIF sizes, it's going to take a little longer. So a little bit of topaz. I'll explain the action really quick. So I can work this image up in 2 to 3 minutes in real time. So you can see I have a raw filter. So I customize the raw filter, which includes raw filter. I process it, and then I have a dark vignette around the edge. And then I do what's called half sepia. So here it is, right off the camera, or not. This is right off the camera. Here it is, raw filter, hue saturation. So I'm out of raw filter now. I go to hue saturation. Hue saturation 50% for a half sepia, a little bit of topaz, and I fade the topaz. And now I have a ripple. See that? Boom. See how blurred that is? The reason I have that is I can go select the history brush, and I can paint in some ripples into the water. I always urge people, customize your own workflow, make it your own. And I'm trying to inspire others, and I mostly want you to not go crazy with workflows. So you can see I'm doing pretty good. Now, again, what I've shown you, 40 seconds, boom, boom, boom. Tilt it, fill in those spots, and then run my action, okay? So we're doing pretty good. Now I have another action, which does the adjustment curves. And I use the adjustment, the brush, crank up that opacity, and it dodges. So you see that area there? See, boom, boom, boom. So I do this on every image. I lighten the cheeks, might lighten the hair a little bit, just a bit. I don't spend a lot of time on it, and I'm going to flatten that, and I'm going to do it again. So I want to lighten it just a little bit more. So you can see, boom, nice bright cheeks. All right, so it's looking good. I'm going to drag over my template. Now, because this is an 11 by 14 and the template is sized for smaller, it's going to do this. Okay, well, that's fine. It's going to take a little longer. I spend a little more time on wall portraits, and I consider 11 by 14 a wall portrait. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to size this one up. Click OK. Then I'm going to select the rest of them like that. Shift Control T. It's going to resize everything according to the size of the first one that I just resized. I hope you're following what I'm doing here. Again, it's all about saving time. I don't need ripples. I only use that for the standing up one. Okay, it's a little bit off. That one's fine. See that? I use Control T to see the edges. That one's fine. Like that dark edge is off a little bit. And then the rays, you can see the rays right there. So I've erased already parts of this. These, the rays and the fog and whatnot. So I'm going to go in, reduce that opacity. I'm using the erase tool. And I'm going to go to each layer and I'm going to start erasing a little bit. I do this really fast. In real time, not recording, this goes even faster. So that looks pretty good to me. Maybe I'll just erase the bottom a little bit more. Okay, you don't want to spend too much time where you're going to go crazy. And if you're going crazy, that means you're making money, and you want to be able to find ways to not go crazy while you're making money. So I got the bright light. You can see right here it says bright light. That's my brightest light. It goes into the lantern. The other ones are just starbursts, and I just randomly place them around. All right, see there? And I usually circle the little girl so she looks like she's being followed by all these fairy lights. It's quite magical. You don't have to use these. It's your call. I like to. Clients seem to really like it. So this one seems to be a little bit too all right, I'm happy with that. Okay, now I'm going to do a soft focus, but before I do that, I have an action. This is new. I haven't done this one before. This is called Bella Kotek, the Royal Collection by Fine Art Actions. Her name is Bella Kotek. It's one of my favorite actions. You can go buy them if you want, I'm sure. Into the Woods action. Okay, see that? And I got a shortcut for it. And I've been applying it to all my images. Now, this is a little bit too strong, so I'm taking it down to about 35%. Hey, see what it does? Just warms it up. Okay, it's cool. I'm going to open the curves a tad. I have an action for that. Now I have an action for my soft focus, which I call, give it a second here, it's running. I call it airbrush frequency separation. I love this action. So I always go about 8, 9, or 10%, never stronger, rarely. So I'm going to erase it in. So I'm erasing it at a low opacity. Then I'm going to go back out. I'm just going to big sweeps right across. So I went into her face and I just carefully did. So this one's done. This one's going 11 by 14. All right, this one here is a gift size. It's going to work faster because it's a smaller size. Remember when I sized them down? And I'm going to go with a little bit of cloning here under her eyes. I have that action right here, which is called Lighten Eyes. It's similar to the other one where I lighten the cheeks. I don't know what the difference is. I made it years ago. I do this all the time. I make an action. I don't remember how. It's not hard to do. See, it's just an adjustment layer and into overlay mode, and it just lightens the eyes nicely a little bit. So again, this is probably 8 by 10 or 5 by 7. Take some of those hairs away. Oh, look what I did right there. See what I did? I screwed up. Bum, bum, bum. So I'm just going to use the brush and brush that out. Cheating. All right. Okay, I forgot to lighten the cheeks. I'm going to do that right now. I do that all the time. I just forget steps. So I give every single fairy image more or less the same basic workflow with slight variations because I'm after consistency here. So I'm lightening the cheeks right now. See? Looks good. Okay, so her arm is too dark. I do this and I forget. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. Let's go back to here. No. Here. No, here. And I'm going to erase, use the erase tool. Lower opacity. I don't want her arm to be this dark. It's not working. I got to go back further. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. I'm going to use the lightened cheeks to go in here. And just lighten this part a little bit. See that? Okay, we're almost done with this one. Now I'm going to bring the template over. And you can see now it's exactly sized to this image. So it's a real time saver. See that? Boom. Don't have much work to do here, except I got to delete ripples. Patchy fog. I'm going to go in and erase some of that, just a little bit. All over fog, erase some of that. Neutral haze. Dark edge. Let's move it over a bit. You can see the edges peeking over. See that? Okay, good. The rays are good. They're pretty good. Well, maybe I'll erase it just a little bit. Bright light. So there's no lantern in this shot, but I'll put the bright light down here and I'll lower the opacity. Then I'll move my other starbursts around. Bum, 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 bum. Moving the stars. They're little Tinkerbells. I want them to look random, like there's a bunch of little fairies flying around her. All right, it's good. C'est bon. Let's flatten that, and I'm going to run to Bella Kotek. Reduce it to about 35. Flatten, and then soft focus. Look how nice that looks. Again, if this was a wall portrait, it'd spend about twice as much time. I'd be more particular. You know, I might get rid of these hairs. To me, good enough is good enough is good enough. We never get complaints. Our clients love our work. Okay, this one's done. I say bye-bye. Okay, this one here is kind of interesting. It's a horizontal. So you can see how quick I do my workflow. So this was a 4-image file. Probably a $500-600 sale, then and around there. I'm not sure. I can't even remember what we charge. We did raise our prices 15 to 20% this year. So what's the problem with this image? Okay, let me do this first before I get into what I'm going to show you. Crank this up, crank it up. I'm going to lighten the eyes a little bit. See, she's got those little speculars. I don't want the eyes to pop out. I'm going to flatten that. I'm going to lighten under the eyes a little bit more. All right, now I'm going to lighten the cheeks. See, there we go. Use the brush. Nice high opacity. See that? Flatten. I run it again so I can lighten it even more. I've done that sometimes as many as 3 or 4 times. Looks pretty good. Now we're going to bring the horizontal over. And we're going to get rid of the ripples. Delete. Patchy fog. This one's pretty good as far as how much I've already erased when I first started using this. So I'm not too concerned about erasing a lot of the haze away. So I'm just going to place the fairy sparkles, starbursts. I should have timed it. Well, I guess the length of the video will sort of give you an idea. And remember, when I'm not recording, I actually go faster. So that's pretty good. I'm going to run the Bella Kotak action. I hear voices in the front of the studio. There's probably some kids here. Sometimes they ask for me. Where's the man? Alright, I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to lighten the cheeks area a little more. I'm going to open up the curves and I'm going to run the soft focus and they'll be done with this image. Oh no, I got one more. I thought I was done, sorry. So you notice the opacity is at 10. I'm on the soft focus now. See the airbrushing, we call it, well, whatever it was I called it. Alright, I got one more. I thought I was done. It's my new pose. We have a little Godox flash inside the box. And it's set to optical slave. What I do is it's set to f11. My overall exposure for all my fairies are at f8, but then for this shot I always go to, I darken the overall, and because the flash is set to f11, I want the overall to be darker by at least a good stop. So I'm trying to even that out. Okay, well, that's good enough. Boom, boom. Let's go here, here. Bingo. So we picked up another fairy day in another city. We're going to take a drive down in 2 weeks to visit the dance school. Perhaps I'll get a video of that. Well, I know I will. So I've been thinking about starting a new program 100% based on fairies. Specifically 4 fairies. I registered the domain called Fairy Masters, and I'm thinking about it. So if you're watching this and you're interested in it, let me know. Send me an email. rob@wizardoflight.com. So it'll be 100% dedicated to, well, I don't want to say fairies 100% because I'll be doing ice fairies, or medieval portraits. It'll be for boys and girls, and also, generally speaking, as I've always said, fairy portraits is nothing more than child portraiture evolved. I hit the wrong action there, sorry. This is Bella Kotak. That's pretty good. Now I'm almost done, so we're going to hit it up with some soft focus. There we go. It's pretty cool, huh? What do you think, boys and girls? From that to that. Ka-ching. So let me know, rob@wizardoflight.com. Thanks, guys. Any questions, let me know.